Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris and I am your dad next door. And recently in a stream that I had earlier this week, I kind of released a new scene transition that I had here, a new scene setup. And I'm going to show it to you guys real fast. And I got a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on it. And I was pretty excited about it. And it was actually something really simple to do. So I wanted to give the opportunity to show you guys how to do that and how to actually, kind of add a little liveliness to your like BRB screen or whatever you're trying to do here. I'm just going to show you this real fast. So this is my new BRB screen that I just released this week. As you can see, it is actually a high pointed camera back up over this way behind me in the room. And it's just kind of got a little bit, still got my chat overlay, still got my monthly goals and all that kind of stuff set up on it. And it just gives a view of the room and everything. So if I get up to walk out and stuff, you can see when I'm coming back, right? So it kind of gives you the opportunity to see what's going on and how the stream is interacting in the moment, and you can kind of get ready for when I'm returning to the computer kind of thing. It also gives light, gives some more environment, gives you to kind of see what's going on in the surroundings around me. You get a little bit more focal of the room and everything like that. So I'm going to give you a quick opportunity. We're going to go through a quick run through of how I set this up. It's actually really simple. The camera up here behind me is actually wireless, so it's actually really cool setup to have. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I will pull that camera down. We'll go through it and I will show you how I set all that up. And yeah, let's get into that. So come on. So I pulled my camera down, and you will notice that the first thing is that this is not actually a camera. It's an old cell phone. Now, how did we do that? Everybody's got, so I will say that this is kind of a trick thing. The prerequisite to this is to have an old cell phone available. I'm using Android. iOS works just as well for the solution that we're going to use here today. But we are going to be using an Android app to create an IP webcam on an old phone. So all of us that have upgraded our phones over the years and have not traded in our old phones, we've got a phone graveyard somewhere, right? Everybody's got one. They got a nightstand or an old dresser or an old box that's got a ton of old phones in it. And that's what happened. When I upgraded my phone last time, this Galaxy, I don't even know what model, S5, S6 or something like that it went into the graveyard, and it's just been sitting around. I have another one in my desk over here that I can use for other solutions, but I like this one because it's 1080p. But yeah, so we have the option here to install an app, and I will go through the process of configuring that, and then I will show you how to set that up, and we can use a phone as a wireless camera. One thing I will say as a early stage in this, while it does work as a camera, I would not suggest using it as a face cam right out the gate. There is a bit of delay, and it does get jitter sometimes and things like that. So it's not something you would want as a primary presentation camera, right? I think if you were holding the camera and using it and actually using the microphone built in, obviously your sound quality would be pretty poor. But if you're using the microphone built in, it might work or something like that. But I just, when I tried to test it, like I actually tried to replace my C920 with it, and it didn't keep up with the audio, and I kept having jitters and things like that from the IP base, so it just didn't work out right. But for like a background camera or something like that, it works excellent. It works fabulous. I have no hiccups with it or anything like that. So anyway, so let's get into I will go to the Google Play Store that has the app, then we'll go to the web interface and show you how to configure that, and then we can set that back up, and it's ready to go. So let's figure that out. So for this solution, we have gone into Google Chrome, and we are going straight into Google Play here, and we are getting this app called IP Webcam made by Pavel Klebovic. I'm probably butchering that, but I apologize to him. It is a free application. It does run advertisements on the screen of the device during use. So as long as you're using it and you're not using your front-facing camera, you don't need the preview window, which I don't need it when it's way up in the back over there. I don't need the preview window there. Then the advertisements don't even get in the way. You never even realize that they're even there. So that's not been an issue for me. They do have a pro version that I believe actually has two-way communication if you're using it, and it has a little bit better throughput, no advertisements, things like that. I am still using the free version, and I have had no issues with it at all. So that is that. It's pretty simple to work through. We're going to go ahead and open up the as it shows here, it's already installed. We're going to go ahead and open up the phone here, and I'm not able to show you the actual settings in there, but I mean, really it's just kind of go in and hit start broadcast. So we're going to go through a couple of options in there that you want to enable, and then we will get this set back up. So I have the app open here, and as you can see right here at the bottom there, that's what I'm talking about, an example of one of these advertisements, and it shows the same thing on the preview window. So it just kind of depends on, you know, if that's going to be a bother for you and you want the $4 version of the application, then you can do that if you want it. So for this, there are a few options in here that you can adjust, and I would suggest you do. There's power management, and you can actually set up to turn the display off to try to save some of your battery life. That's something that you want to do. And then there's a like keep screen active, shallow sleep. There's some additional power options here that you want to kind of set up. I turn it on to where that way the screen can turn off, but the camera still operates. Otherwise, every time the screen turns off, the camera quits, kind of thing like that. So you just set it up that way. And then all you got to do is here at the bottom, there's at the very, very, very last option, there's a start server button. We're going to hit start server, and now our camera is connected, and it is currently broadcasting, and it shows you the broadcast IP at the bottom. Typically that's going to be whatever you configure it as, but in this instance I've kind of put it back to the default for now. But it is, you know, whatever the IP of the device is, port 8080 is what they use. So we're going to show you how to set that up in OBS now and kind of go through and configure that, so that way we can set it, have it as a browser source for our webcam. The first thing we need to do here is we need to actually log into the web server, right? So we mentioned before, I need to grab the camera there. We mentioned before that this, once you start the server, it is showing the IP address. So I'm going to enter that into my browser here, and don't worry about knowing what my IP is, because I will be changing it later. If you have access to your DNS or DHCP, I would suggest setting a static IP for this, so that way you don't have to worry about it changing all the time, and it's the same in OBS all the time. And I do that. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go click on this browser button, and that will give you just a so like you can already see I'm holding the camera, you guys can see what it sees, right? And it's just kind of there, right? It's working. It's actually working pretty well. It's pretty not too jittery, not too laggy. One thing you might see when you notice this is operating, I've noticed in the past that it does have some issues right there where it like fights focusing. If once you get your shot in focus, you can adjust your focus, go into focus mode, and change your distance. Once you get it where you want it, I would suggest hitting this autofocus hold, so your focus will not change after that point. That way, no matter where you move to or what you do, your focus does not change. So definitely keep with that. And those are really the only settings you need to set up on the server, right? We know the camera's working. We know the focus is locked in. We can turn this video back off just for the sake of saving some processing power on the camera here. And then we can go ahead and set it up in OBS now. So let's go do that. So now that we're inside OBS here, we can go in, and I have created just a blank scene just to go ahead and show you how to test this out. Basically, the way that this connects to your camera or to your phone is exactly like how you had it on your computer. So we're going to use a browser source to do that. So we basically go into add source, browser. We're going to create a new, and I'm just going to do demo camera for now. We're going to add this demo camera source, and you're going to notice, right, we're adding a browser source, and you're like, well, why are we adding a browser source? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use that same IP address, right, with that same port number, and then at the end of it, we're going to put /video. We're going to set it up for 1920, 1080 to fit our frame. We're going to click OK. Actually supposed to be HTTP, not HTTPS. I apologize. And there you go. So there you have, like, you can see that automatically added. My camera is sitting right here on my other shelf, just out of arm's reach there. And you can see that that's already added in and functioning. So now we can use that as an entire scene or an extra camera for us that we want to operate with. One thing we can add in here, and what I do, as you noticed, right, in my Be Right Back window, obviously it's all out of whack right now, but I had a lot of opacity on it. So we can actually go into this blank scene here that's operating the camera. We can go to filters, add your color correction, add a color correction filter, and then you can drag down and add some opacity to this, like reduce the opacity on it, so it gives it just a little bit of a tuned out effect right? And then as you add in your other effects that you want, like to say be right back or something like that, it gives you a little bit of a shadowing effect on your camera. That way it doesn't, you know, it's not as in your face, right? And it doesn't drown out the other elements you're trying to put on your BRB screen or whatever you're trying to use this for, right? You could use it as intro, exit. You could use it as I've seen some people use like high angle drop in for Fortnite and other MOBA games, right, where they do like a quick high angle drop in while their legend or hero or whatever is dropping in, stuff like that. But as you can see, it's really simple to set up. It's really simple to get loaded into OBS. It's nothing that's crazy or difficult to do. And it's a solution to utilize an old device that you haven't been able to operate with in a long time, right? Something that's just sitting there collecting dust in your inventory could become an asset to your stream, right? And that's the whole purpose of this effort, right? Is to benefit and promote and grow the quality of your stream for as little a cost as you can. So I hope you enjoyed my quick little tip there about how to set up your camera or your smartphone to be used as a backup overview or a secondary camera for your stream in general, right? There are some other solutions. If you wanted to go through the effort of trying to use it as a face cam, then you could try to do some audio delay with your microphone in order to line it up with the camera and some other things like that, some other tricks that you could try to play with there. I could do another video if you guys are interested. Just let me know in the comments and I could try to set that up and test that out and see if we can make that work. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for today. I am Chris, your dad next door. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know, like my likes, dislikes, comments, feedback. I want to know what I'm doing for you guys, if I'm doing the right kind of content that you want. Also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, you can always feel free to hop in my Discord or check me out on Twitch. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'm always open to answer tech questions or anything like that. If you have any information or want me to test something out, let me know, and I will see if I can make it work. Other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.